Now we will learn about fixed thread pool. So let's create the class. Let's call this as fixed thread pool demo. Let's maximize this one. And as we had done earlier, we will be creating a runnable, which will be the task which needs to be executed by the executor service. So let's do that. Let's have a class called as work. It's going to implement a runnable, and we can start by overriding the run method. So public void run, and it will have certain parameters. So the first field is work ID, and then it will have a constructor which is going to initialize this work ID. And in the run method, what we will do is we will print a similar kind of message, the task ID. Let's provide the work ID here, being executed by thread dot current thread dot get name. Let's put some sleep timer here. So again, let's go with half a second. And in the catch, let's handle the interrupted exception. Let's throw a runtime exception and pass the exception. And now let's go to the main method, and very similar to what we did for the single thread executor, we will also be creating the executor using the try with resources. So try executor service. Let's call this as service, and executors dot new fixed thread pool. Let's say that I want to have a thread pool of size 2, and I want to execute this task 7 times, or what you could say is I want to run 7 tasks. So let's make that. So int I as 0, I less than 7, I plus plus, and let's call service dot execute new work, pass the ID. So let's print this and see how is the outcome like. So let's run this. So here is the output. So task ID 1 is being executed by thread 2, task ID 0 is being executed by thread 1, task ID 2 is being executed by thread 2, and so on and so forth. So one important thing to note here is that since we had 2 threads created, these 2 threads are there in the thread pool, and they are taking turns in order to execute my task. So first thread 2 is being used to execute the task, then we have thread 1, then I have thread 2, then we have thread 1, thread 2, thread 1, thread 2, and so on and so forth. Please note that this may not be alternating in the restricted terms. This is just an instance wherein we got this kind of pattern, but this does not mean that in all the cases it will be one by one. It could so happen that thread 2 could execute certain tasks in one sequence, and then after that thread 1 could be invoked, and then thread 1 could be assigned with certain tasks for execution. So this is what we have achieved by making use of the fixed thread pool. So to sum it up, we have created a new fixed thread pool, and there are 2 threads, and when I want to execute 7 tasks, then those 7 tasks are picked one by one by either of the available 2 threads, and they are executed. Now let's have a quick look around how exactly does the fixed thread pool work under the hood. So what you see here is a visual representation of the fixed thread pool executor, and here in the case of fixed thread pool, there is a fixed number of threads. As the name suggests, that there will be certain number of threads which is pre-created, and this executor also has a task queue where all the tasks will be placed. So consider this as a task queue of some sort. The threads in the fixed thread pool pick the task from the task queue and execute them. So when the thread is done with the execution of a task, it goes ahead and picks another task, and this keeps on happening until all the tasks are completed. So the basic idea remains the same, that there is a thread pool and the threads are fixed in the count, and once you have tasks flowing in the task queue, these threads will start taking out the task from the task queue, start to work on those. And once all the tasks are done, and this keeps on happening till the time the task queue has certain tasks in it. So overall, this thread pool executor is fetching the task and executing it over and over again.